Porlock, The Mystery of the 13 Steps. Written by Jonathan Mountfort. Narrated by Tom Fria. Setting the scene. The Hill. It is 1904, and we are in the age of horsepower, but not motorized horsepower, for in 1904 the motor car is just a rudimentary cart on skinny wheels with a feeble engine. We are at the foot of Porlock Hill, famed, feared even, across the whole of England. Through reputation and popular exaggeration, Porlock Hill is a precipice, in the minds of those who imagine it, to embark on a journey either up or down its ragged, wheel-scarred face would be at best foolhardy, at worst likely to end in injury or death. A visit to this part of North Somerset was often made as much in morbid fascination as it was from a desire to view the wondrous scenery. No trip would be complete without a glimpse of the monstrous hill, the first and steepest part of which winds 600 feet up the side of the cliff in just half a mile to the gorse and heather of the Exmoor moorland above. When the clatter of the carriage was heard, the spectators would gasp in expectation, each of them wondering how it could be dragged up the incline, even with the might of 6 sturdy horses at its head. Before the steepest part of the rise, all the gentlemen aboard were obliged to get out and walk. If the load was particularly heavy that day, the coachman would suggest that ladies below the age of 40 might also like to disembark, to save the poor horses the extra burden. This usually had the desired effect of emptying the carriage entirely of all womenfolk, except those who, through infirmity, were positively unable to climb to the top of the 1 in 4 gradient. And then there was the descent. The Lorna Doone. "Hold on to your hats, ladies, and don't forget those thighs. Keep 'em clenched tightly now. We're heading down." Coachman Ned let slip a mischievous chuckle as he bellowed his advice. "Ah!" shrieked Mrs. Lillian Arnold, gripping her daughter's gloved hand for support. "Oh, Clara, God help us! Are we going to die?" "No, Mother, not if you stay calm." "Turan! Ta-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra-ra!" came the shrill blast from the guard's coach horn, startling the old lady, turning her face a shade of greenish-white. "I want to get off," she moaned resignedly. "Yes, Mother, everyone on this coach wants you to get off, so they don't have to listen to the fuss you're making." There was a clattering and grinding as the morning Lorna Doone coach commenced its descent of the treacherously steep drop-down Porlock Hill and into the village below. "Whoa! Whoa!" Ned called out to his 4 brave nags at the head of the carriage. Smoke plumed and red sparks speared out from beneath the rear wheels of the coach, locked stationary in the metal skids, which protested their rough and roasting passage down the cinder-strewn, rutted roadway. "I hope none of you purchased a return ticket. This is a one-way trip to Armageddon." Wails of woe rose up from the unfamiliar travelers seated behind him, who gripped on to anything they could grab, while the regulars ignored the coachman's teasing. They had heard it all too many times before. The first-timers felt the blood drain from their bodies and prayed. Mrs. Arnold squeezed Clara's hand so hard the poor girl feared she would never recover its use. "I want to get off," wailed the anguished parent, while Clara grinned as she enjoyed the exciting ride, probably the most thrilling in all of England, especially when experienced from the open top of a four-in-hand coach. Teddy and Jess, at the head of the 4, pushed back as hard as they could, desperately fighting for some grip as their hooves tore into the friable red-colored shale surface of the steep road. Jasmine and Fred, behind, had the full weight bearing down upon them.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?